Virginia. Obviously, they've won 40 games for a reason. They won the league for a reason. They're a good team. Griffin Kern was really, really good. For a guy who's a former D3 player, former D3, D2 NAIA coach, and to see a guy who gets an opportunity coming from a lower level to show that there's good players at every level, the way he competed out there at the highest level was, if it wasn't on the other team, obviously wouldn't have been as happy for him, but he did a great job. And so first you start with tipping the cap. We didn't play all that well. Team that generally throws strikes, generally defends. We didn't do those two things very well, and what could have been a really, really good ball game on both sides really wasn't, because one team played really, really well and one team didn't. But can't change it now. Not a great place to play our worst game in the last month, but young guys and learning opportunities, and we'll get better from it.
Okay, questions? Wait for the microphone.
Coach, you mentioned Griffin Kern, obviously. What did he do well that kind of kept your team off balance? Because obviously he's not an overpowering type pitcher. What were the things that you felt made him stand out?
3 pitches for strikes, left-handed. I mean, compete, stuff that we take pride in doing, and he just did a better job of it. Did a better job of it than our guys did today. And again, tip the cap. When you can execute 3 pitches where you want to throw them, you're going to be successful without a doubt.
Other questions?
Coach, talk about your postseason possibilities and just how do you think playing in the tournament? Do you like the single elimination format, or would you like to be in a double where you had another chance maybe?
I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I'll play the format they tell me to play. Obviously, you've seen it around the country. It's a weird setup to play in these one-game settings, and you've seen throughout these big leagues a lot of odd results, and I think there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, these leagues are really, really deep, and even the lower seeds are good teams. But number 2, it's just really different to play a one-and-done type setting. So it's not my place to complain or compliment or, we'll play the format we're asked to play, and so will everybody else.
What else? Anything for Jack while he's in here? Question?
Just one other thing, I think it's important. I've seen, and this is no criticism of anybody, but I think, you get in this setting, a lot of people talk about bubbles and committees and those kind of things. And one thing I want to point out is number one, I think we're in a pretty good spot where there's probably not a lot of conversation, but I think it is important. We were in a spot last year that you could have really made the argument we deserved to keep playing, and we had 17 league wins. I think it's just important we note that these committees work awfully, awfully hard to get it right. And it's easy to be really critical when you fall on one side or the other. And my guess is this year, I'd be shocked if we don't fall on the side we hope to fall on every year, and last year we didn't. I think it's nice to not have to state your case, because I think we stated it on the field well enough. But that said, I don't envy a group of people that ultimately is going to have 66, 67, 68, whatever teams that are qualified to play in this thing and have to pick 64. So again, it's really nice that all the metrics line up for us, and I think it's a slam dunk. But at the same time, we were on the other side of it last year with 17 league wins and got left home, and I understood it. There's hard decisions to make, and so I just think it's important that committee gets a little slack at times. They're trying to get it right. I don't think they're getting big extra paychecks for it. They're trying to do the best they can to get the right teams in there, and I think it's important to point that out.
To the back.
Jack, obviously you didn't have any trouble adjusting to hitting in this venue today. Is it different, the lighting, the atmosphere, anything that you adjusted to produce the way you did?
No, I mean, it's a pretty nice park, so, people that built it did a pretty good job, so not too worried about that. But, yeah, so there's not really much adjustment. As a hitter, I'm trying to do the same thing every at-bat, so not really trying to do anything different in a different venue.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.